live. We're going live.
Hey folks, what's up? It's me, John Caspian, joined by John Galvin and Mark Schubach. What's up, guys?
Hey, everybody.
So we got a lot to talk about today. We got tons going on. It's 2018, which means...
I know, it's a big deal. First week of the new year, and it's starting off with like quite a bang, I would like to say. Like, we have so much stuff going on. 3 weeks just for the first month of January.
It's so many games.
Yeah, so many leagues, campaigns, and things like that, all starting off. And thanks to a lot of our new TOs for organizing it and getting it started. So.
It definitely seems like a lot of people's new resolutions was to use the models they got.
Yes, yeah, no, which is fantastic, and not only that, but like use new models, but paint them as well. And I think David's helping out a lot with that.
Here's my little start for it.
Yeah. First model for 2018 is going to be a Dust Walker for Mark.
Yeah, Lothar.
Forever doing Imperial Knights. And so maybe I can finish that. So.
But that's there to deal with Steel Legion.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Okay, so on the docket today, we're talking about all of the tournaments coming up, the leagues coming up. We also have a new sign-up system for the paid events that I'm going to show you guys how to use, for those of you who don't know how to use it. Do we want to go ahead and start with that and get that one out of the way?
Yeah. If you got that queued up, because it kind of segues into all the leagues and the events anyways.
Okay, so all you do is you go to www.playatgiga.com, and then this beautiful window is going to pop up. I'm going to make sure it's optimized so that the viewers can see it, right? Cool, almost there. I thought I had it in the right window, but not quite. There we go. And the other side. So what you see is the list. It says find your game below and click on the event to see the dates. So if you have a coupon, sometimes if you sign up for a league, you can get a coupon for a tournament, like we do that with the 40K tournament coming up. But you find the one that you're looking for. So in this case, we'll say Valentine's Day Massacre Team Tournament, which is teams of 3 on February 17th and 18th. It's a 5-game weekend tournament. You would click that, and it would pop up the date of the first of the event, and you click on that, and you press Continue. And when you press Continue, it takes you to pay for it on PayPal. So you got your first name, last name, phone number, and email. As soon as you put that information in, the Valentine's Day one has a special form that you can additionally fill out if you know your team name and the people you're playing with. You can go ahead and put them in, and you pay for it. And then on top of that, you see where it says returning in the corner of this? You can create a login and then easily sign up for tournaments and events in the future, so you don't have to worry about always inputting your name over and over again. You can simply find the one that you're looking for, click it, and then in addition to all that, it also goes to your calendar of your choice. So if you have Google Calendar, Outlook, etc., as soon as you've signed up for it, it'll actually give you a link to put that date into your calendar, which is super cool. And that's it. That's how you do it. So if you have a question you want me to show that again, just put it in the comments and I will show it again. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and start talking about all of the awesome tournaments and stuff we're doing.
Yeah, so first things first, we're going to have Friday Night Fights tonight. So be sure to look out for that. Same thing we do every Friday. Rob Bristow's back. So he'll be running the mini tournament tonight. And then tomorrow is going to be the first day of our War Machine and Hordes Journeyman League. And so with that, Rob Ashwell, not Rob Bristow, two different Robs, has taken the time to make his own Journeyman League packet. So for veteran players, it should offer some new twists and ways to play.
Or learning a new faction.
Yeah, or learning a new faction. But it's basically designed for new and old players to benefit from it, have a way to interact and have a new experience with it, which is really cool. So that's starting tomorrow. You don't have to be here tomorrow to play in it. It's just that. So we'd love if you're available and free to come in, meet other people in the league, schedule some games, get some games in that day. And if you can't make it, it's a week-to-week progression. So, like, let's say me and Mark won't be there on Saturday. I can message Mark and be like, hey, do you want to meet at Giga-Bites on Monday and get a Journeyman League game in? And, you know, schedule a game from there.
I would promptly agree.
Yeah. And as long as you get 2 games in before the next Saturday, you'll be eligible for the raffle. Each week we're doing a raffle for the Journeyman League. It's a chance to build up your army, and get some kind of cool swag. And we'll be doing some more orders for Private Press items the next couple of days. Broken Egg, we'll be contacting them and getting some pieces in as well. So if there's anything you guys want from either Private Press or Broken Egg,
measuring sticks.
Yeah, measuring sticks, tokens, those are all big ones. Actually, now have the Company of Iron set. It's really cool. And they have writable tokens for each faction for the Company of Iron set.
Seems like it's funny how they started with writable tokens and they moved away from writable tokens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's nice for the writable tokens because with the CID, things changed. But anyways, so yeah, if you guys wanted to come in and play Journeyman League, tomorrow's a great day for it. If not, schedule games elsewhere or come in for our regular night, which is Thursday.
Our Facebook page will be pretty lively with people looking for games. So.
And then on Monday, I believe, is the start of the Dust League.
Yeah.
So Jim Godin will be back from France to run this Dust League, and we're getting started pretty hot and heavy with it. All it requires is a starter box.
Is it Monday or Tuesday?
I thought it was Monday. It should be there.
Yep, Monday the 8th. I'm pulling up on the thing right now.
The only excuse me. Switch back to Journeyman League. To join the Journeyman League, it's $15 entry. Helps provide awesome raffles and prize support for the league. And the Dust League that starts on Monday, you can either enter it by paying $5 or buying at least $40 worth of dust from the start of the new year. Once again, that goes to prize support and making sure we have some cool stuff to keep people interested in the game. But yeah, that started. And Mark, what are you playing for the Dust League?
So I would be playing the Germans.
The Germans.
So I've started with the Lothar. That was just a this looks really cool purchase. Yeah. But what I'm trying to focus on are lasers.
Yeah.
Going to try to have as many lasers in my army as possible. I actually have 2 conversion bits on the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They could be the Panzer IVs. So you can actually take World War II vehicles that normally would be outdated, but this is a war. You need to utilize everything you got. So you can take these old Panzer IVs and just on them and send them onto the battlefield. So I'm waiting for those to arrive, and I'm gonna try to build and paint those guys. From the painting stream yesterday, we determined what color I need to paint them.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go with that.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool with Dust. I believe the starter armies is 25 points. So as long as you have like 25 points worth of models, that's usually what the starter sets are. They're going to be like varying between 23, 25 points for starter, and you'll build up from there. So yeah, I'm probably going Cthulhu, but I'm going to start with the mercenary starter so I can build into it.
Can you run like one Cthulhu monster?
I need to double check with Jim. I think you might for the league be required to have like a hero with your guys. So like I couldn't run a Cthulhu monster right now because I couldn't fit a hero in as well as the Cthulhu monster.
That would be kind of funny. Just the Cthulhu monster running around and everyone's like, bring it down.
Yeah. Jeremy, the Japanese Imperial Japan is coming out, I believe, in the summer. We've seen some spoilers for it, and it's heavily
trope.
yeah. Well, it's like manga influence. So there will be giant robots and schoolgirls with katanas. So basically, the reason why Japan hasn't been in this world war to this point is
they started it.
Has been because of giant monsters. Yeah. So they've been battling giant threats off of their coast, and it's been keeping them out of the global scene. But now that when they get added into the game, they will have resolved their conflict enough to get in. Yeah. So
I hope they just take one of the monsters, like just Godzilla with a suit.
Gregoire is watching, so he could probably answer a lot of questions and correct us when we're wrong.
So am I right about the Godzilla skin suit?
Not quite. But yeah, so that's starting this week on Monday. And once again, like most of our leagues, coming on a set day, but amount of games in each week. So be sure to be active on our Facebooks and our event pages and things like that. Schedule games. Make sure you get your... Yeah. Oh, ninjas, cadets, and giant robots.
Oh, sweet. I want them to be similar to what is the movie Pacific Rim? That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So we've seen one of the like, because I think one of the Imperial Japan characters is on the Dust website, like as an exclusive, and it's very Sucker Punch looking.
Yeah,
Nice.
Chick with a giant sniper rifle.
Yes.
She's part of the Babylon campaign.
Oh, was she?
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
It's what they sent in there.
Gotcha.
A lot of reverb. But yeah, no, she's also hard to kill. So it's not like the damage resilience in models, but what it actually does is once she's out of hit points, she can roll and on your shield and faction symbol.
Yeah, she
actually just regains 1 hit point, and
that's really cool.
And becomes stunned. Only gets 1 action the next time she activates.
Yeah, so definitely it's something to look forward to, especially with Dust. Like, what we've seen in the last couple of years is them pumping out like new factions and these new blocks to really, make the game feel more fleshed out, or not necessarily the game's fleshed out in itself, but the world, so these, they'll take keys and like art design from like different genres and things like that. I think to me they're very like Hellboy, but that's because it's a World War II setting where you're summoning in like interdimensional demons, so I like that.
I do find it funny though that like in Hellboy, the Germans get their power from the occult, that they make the portals to different dimensions and they make deals with demons and whatnot. But this one is just like it's all alien technology, and now they're going to be fighting the occult. That's a neat change of pace, but it still is very Hellboy. You have the zombies brought back. You have the gorillas that they've just basically enhanced. Yeah, John hates gorillas.
They're cool gorillas, though.
Just gave us a little spoiler. They're having transformable robots based on ships. Japan, right?
Robotech,
or Transformers, the best show. But yeah, so definitely check out this Dust Lake. The community is huge now, and it's definitely thanks to Jim. And then people who work at the company like Gregoire coming into live streams and chats like that to answer questions and help build hype.
That's immensely helpful.
If you guys like this whole weird war setting, I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait to get some more games of Dust in.
I can't wait to have John run away from the table as I only fight with gorillas. He's just like, I'm not even going to do this.
Yeah.
Just packs his Cthulhu away.
I actually got the 2-player starter set. Do we still have the Soviets versus American 2-player starter?
No, Gabe bought that.
Yep. Yeah, we sold. We sold it pretty quick.
But that one is super cool. Basically, you get 2 factions that are a little more. It's like the 2 1-player starters plus a little bit more per side, and that one I'm introducing quite a few people to wargaming because they totally love the grid. It's really easy for people to like get used to that movement style, and then you introduce the dice rolling to them through the mechanics, right? So then they're like, oh, okay, so basically wargaming is just moving a thing around and then rolling dice. And I'm like, yeah, that's really all there is to it. I mean, there's painting, obviously, but besides the hobby aspect, the actual playing is pretty simple. You get special rules and stuff, and certain game systems are chunkier than other ones, but overall, you move a thing around and you roll some dice.
So we have a lot of people play without the grid as well, but the way I like to really explain it is that a lot of games, like for example, 40K, you have your basic rules, then you have PowerPoints, and a lot of people like to say like, oh, this is a simplified version of it. Dust really kicks it up a notch and saying, you don't even need a tape measure. Here's your grid. Like honestly, just grab a snack, move your models around, roll some dice, enjoy without having to do all these like fine point measuring. I like it. Like this exemplifies 2 completely separate modes of play. Really just puts you in a beer and pretzels mode, or a like more legit, here's all this fancy terrain that I can set up however I want. But I
definitely I was hesitant about the grid play, but actually after playing it a lot, or playing it at all, I really liked it. So me and Mark work at a game store and we play war games all the time. So when there is a new mechanic or a new way to play that isn't necessarily seen in other games, it's really compelling and interesting. And
I love the grid.
the grid just makes it easy. It's a really easy game to pick up and just start playing. And it doesn't diminish the depth of the game. It's just like tactical options, and you don't have to like learn about other ones by like coursing through a rule book, right?
Yeah.
So like it basically gets you going from 0 to 60 in the full depth of the game really quick.
Yeah.
So.
And it does the simplify the same thing, but where a lot of war games nowadays are simplifying in order to streamline people getting into it. I was able to plop a quick reference on the back of the rule book onto the in front of the player in front of me, right? So whoever I was teaching, I taught a couple of my brothers and a couple other friends. Every time I just stuck the quick reference guide on there, and then they were able to just follow along as I described it. And by the time I went through it one time, after 5 minutes, they were just rolling, and they were like, oh, okay, I'll move him diagonally once, and then I can't move him diagonally twice without another 2 points. They kind of get that stuff because of the grid, I think.
Yeah.
Super easy frame of reference for them.
It's how you get into the game really easily.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in Dust, come by Monday. It's here to start off the league. Me and Mark will be here that evening. I'll have my Cthulhu. Mark will have his Germans.
Yep.
So hopefully we can get some games in. But yeah, so we'll move on from the Dust League, and following the Dust League, hot on its trail is going to be our 40K campaign for the new year. So Rob Bristow, not Ashwell, is running this campaign, and we're having a kickoff this Sunday at 10 a.m. So we're expecting a lot of people up here for the league.
And swap meet.
Swap meet's this Sunday.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't forget the swap meet. We'll be talking about that later at the end of the stream to make sure you guys remember. But next Sunday is the start of the campaign. So we're dividing the campaign into seasons so people don't feel necessarily overwhelmed. Or even if they want to change armies from season to season, they can. But all those rules are up. We have the event page going. The price to get in, I believe, is $30. And once again, this is all going to prize support to more or less give people motivation, give people like kind of a what is that? A giant golden ring at the end of the race. So we're trying to figure out ways to keep people motivated into it for a while, and I think Rob has come up with a great system and all that. So interspersing prize support and tournaments and events to all keep people motivated into this campaign, it should be awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the biggest issue that people tend to have is when the classic stumbling block of RPG games, of not tournaments so much, but of leagues, is that you end up getting life gets in the way. So one thing that'll really help is events like this that you can say, okay, I know this event is coming up. I can take time off of work or whatever your situation is in life. You can try to arrange it when you know that you have an event several weeks out or even a month out.
Yeah.
And you want to segue into Troy?
We'll do it after the events. So the last event that I want to talk about, Games Workshop has been kind of hinting and spoiling at this for the last several weeks, or has it been months? It might have been months at this point. It definitely was. So Malign Portents is finally kind of revealed what it is. And it is the new giant event for the Age of Sigmar. They say that the Age of Hope is dead. So, when we got into Age of Sigmar, it was right after Sigmar himself had pushed back chaos and kind of established order in all the realms. Order for people to like live their daily lives and kind of like build things up and all that sort of stuff. Now the tagline for Malign Portents is the Age of Hope is dead. So Malign Portents is the first campaign book in which will probably be a series of them, where they are going to help, once again, kind of define their world a little bit more, build up an awesome campaign, and then also, I think...
It's really just spotlighting.
Yeah, it's more than that. So they're talking about it, and they're kind of or equivalating it to a big event like the End Times. Now, don't expect
this universe blows up and it goes back to the old world.
Don't expect that. But with all the things that they're talking about, expect shakeups. So like expect to come out and perhaps new rules and new ways to play is what the big thing's going to be. And I think Malign Portents is going to start pushing different styles of play for Age of Sigmar to, one, get it to be different than the new 8th edition, and kind of bring back the elements that people like about fantasy games and all that. Like not rank and file, but like, you know, more so like the armies and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Going up for pre-order sometime soon. And with that, we'll be running it here at the store. Robert Clark, our third TO named
Bobby.
Robert, Bobby. We'll call this one Bobby. Bobby will be running Age of Sigmar on Mondays, and hopefully be doing the Malimportance with it. We know right now that there's the Maggotkin releases come out this month, but then we're going to be seeing the 4 big heroes for Malimportance with the release of the book.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on Age of Sigmar. I'm excited to get back to it. Me and Mark are working on a Flesh Eater Court's army to support Death and Nagash's reign over the mortal realms.
So that is one thing though with Nagash. He was basically getting the short end of the stick at the in the early transition to Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Like Archeon was bringing his Chaos host into Saish or
the realm of Death. Aish.
And basically just pulp, and you know, like any supervillain, he just, you know, kind of whisked away. He's like, is he dead? We don't know. But you know, like any supervillain, he just absconds and, you know, is plotting his time, biding his time to make his triumphant return. But they made some hints towards the Nurgle, the Rockin. Like they weren't really worried about order. They weren't really worried about destruction. They said they felt more threatened by death in one of their videos, and that's what they needed to prepare for. And so it looks just definitely they're hinting towards a triumphant return.
So it's been something that they've been hinting towards and working to in the fluff. And with this release of Malimportance, there's a new website, malimportance.com, and they have several videos, and they have developer interviews talking about how life, like your daily life, works in the mortal realms, which is super important because a lot of people, you know, it's a very abstract setting, you know, like different planes of existence all connected to each other. So it becomes, how they explain it is very close to like the realms in Dungeons and Dragons, where like, you know, you have Eberron and all that sort of stuff on different planes. But anyways, so check it out on malimportance.com. And if you guys have any questions about Age of Sigmar, me and Mark are always here to answer them. And then we also have Bobby, who's running our leagues and events, and he'll be here to run demo games and also play the game live. So,
that's
yep.
Yeah, so
what are the crazy
showing
stories?
folks the website now. It looks pretty cool. I like it. Lots of nice fluff in there.
Yeah. So there's lots of stories, and they're going to be so I think what they talked about is they're planning on releasing a short story each week to go with the Malimportance. So I mean, they're going to put out like books and things like that, like they normally do, but they want people to be able to like access whatever the main overall story is, and you'll have to get the books if you want like the nitty gritty details, right? So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And so hopefully we'll see some new factions throughout the year, like when they tie in like a 40K release with an Age of Sigmar release, like this Nurgle book. I would love to see them do that with, you know, more armies besides just like demons. Like if they ever release a new faction in 40K, similar, not the same, obviously, but like if they do Imperial Guard, release a Free People's Army, and
I am waiting. I'm counting the days for Free Peoples to have their.
You might see it because like the Dracoth are becoming kind of the so like the Free People. So the Dracoth are like these Conan the Barbarian style barbarians. They're not super chaosy flavored. I mean, they worship the dark gods, but they're not running around with like brands of corn on their head or like guts falling out. They are just barbaric people that don't like civilization.
They're the Norsemen.
Yeah. Well, to me, they're more wild than the Norsemen. Tribal,
like
than that.
I basically take the Norsemen from old fantasy and just like, because they had the tribal nomadic,
like the Marauders and such.
Yeah. That's basically what I see them as. Just a little less frothing at the mouth.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll expand them and then also do Free Peoples as well with them. But so, you know, we'll hopefully see them more stuff coming with that. And with that, we're going to end our talk on the events and things like that. And I'm going to pass it over to Mark to talk about the new terrain system,
Mhm.
and we're going to try to like maybe angle this camera a little bit this way.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Good view. All right.
Mark, are you in frame?
Yeah. Am I? I don't think I really need to be. But anyway.
Don't get too far.
Yep. So what we've done with the terrain system now is divided by genres. And so really the main genres we see at the store here, we have science fiction, we have fantasy, we have historical, and then terrain to be the theme of it, we have biomes. So you have desert, tundra, like Mars. So what we've done is the first 4 shelves are dedicated to science fiction. Then the second, the 2 after that are dedicated to fantasy. Then there's 1 for historical and 1 for biomes. And I've actually color-coded each piece. So if you look underneath each piece, you'll see that there's a sticker. At least I hope it stayed. But for a lot of people, like I try to keep all the foam skyscraper pieces on the second shelf. So just if you take a piece off the shelf, please try to note where you took it from and try to return it to the same spot. The big test will be later today with the Friday Night Fights. We'll see how well this works. And I believed it myself that this is a pretty hard task to accomplish. But I'm hoping that if we have the players that we do, they'll definitely pick it up. I think we have a great bunch of guys, especially with Rob organizing Friday Night Fights. We have a lot of people that try to help clean up afterwards. So maybe we can get a nice system going that keeps the terrain in better condition. One of the reasons I started this was because a lot of the terrain was just piled on top of each other. It was getting chipped corners, busted pieces off. Like a lot of times you couldn't have any small pieces hanging off terrain because it would just get knocked off. So this is really just me hoping to get everything organized. I guess you'll see the tubs underneath the TV. Those are for your barricades, your forests, your Games Workshop forests, and then your loose foliage, shrubs, your fields in one of the tubs. So yeah, just a lot of things are labeled just to make things easier for everybody. And now you don't have to go down the entire wall to find a piece you want when you say, all right, I'm building me some 40K terrain. I can stick to these 4 shelves.
Nice.
I'm building fantasy to historical. I don't have to like dig through 40K stuff to find historical if I want that. And some of them mix and match. Like you might be able to grab some skyscrapers if you're going to do historical, but for the most part, it just helps you organize it back to where it belongs.
Just so Mark, you and John know, the moment you turned the camera and started talking about the terrain, the stream kind of died for a second, which was kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
My computer literally just said disconnected for no reason.
So did we lose all of that?
No, you're good. We're good. It just stopped for like 10 seconds. As soon as you started talking about the terrain, it just went disconnected. David said the dark gods are. Oh, it just went away. There you go. Are distrusting the terrain. That's great. Okay, so when people come in and you pick up an item off the shelf, and then you just look at the bottom of the terrain, and then that's your color code to go put it down?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. And it doesn't have to be exact spot on the shelf, just on that shelf somewhere?
Correct. Yeah. Just make sure you put like pieces with like pieces. Mark has done a good job. I'm not sure if he talked about it enough, but not only has he like organized all these terrain, but he's pruned as well. Okay. Broken pieces of terrain, things that people weren't using. So there should be a little bit more breathing room. And he's also moved pieces that are obnoxiously large for the terrain shelf and moved them to a different storage area. And one of the reasons why, we did that was to make more breathing room for each piece, so it shouldn't feel like you have to put a piece of terrain on top of another piece. There should be enough room on the shelves for everything to sit with its bottom flat on the shelf to not worry about it. So it definitely something to keep in mind of, and please, treat our terrain right and keep it going. We have a great selection of terrain, and we require everyone to kind of pitch in and treat it nicely.
Yeah, and we have enough terrain to cover every single high top table plus more.
Yes, we can cover like every single table we have plus every single table in the back. We can throw it out there. Oh look, it's David.
Hey David.
Are you running away?
Bye, David.
Yeah, poor David.
Emily says we look cold. Well, Emily, it is 8 degrees here in Ohio, so that sucks. What's the temperature like down there?
It is in the 30s today.
David's painting model.
See, that's not so bad.
So it is not. No, it's not terrible, but I don't like it, which is why you guys can always count on me looking more bundled up than the rest of everyone else.
Yeah, the snow has been on the ground here since Christmas Eve.
Ooh.
And it's still not gone away.
Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, so things should be warming up in Atlanta next week. I think, however, we're having a bit of icy rain on Sunday to end the cold streak, which, yeah. So
they're saying it's park at the bottom of my hill.
Yeah, park at the bottom of your hill Sunday. But yeah, just keep an eye on the weather. I mean, we're not closed or anything like that.
Should we start doing a Giga Weathercast too?
We might have to if it stays like this. But speaking of Sunday, Sunday will be our swap meet. It's our quarterly swap meet. This is the first one of the year. Most of the people watching the stream have at least been to one. But this one should be pretty big considering it's spring, or not spring cleaning, winter cleaning, time to make room for all those new models you got. So come in. Me and David will both be here at 11 for the store opening. So we can get you guys here with all of your fancy new models and stuff and such. So yeah.
Swap meet. And it alternates every quarter. We do either the Sunday and then the next one is on a Saturday. Because sometimes people just can't do a Sunday. Other people can't do a Saturday.
Correct.
So we always alternate them.
Yes. So this one is definitely going to be on Sunday, with the next one in April being on a Saturday. But like I said, me and David will both be here. David will be manning the register, and I'll be running around assisting everyone as much as I can. So we look forward to seeing everyone. I might be bringing stuff. David might be bringing stuff. Mark, are you going to bring stuff?
Yeah.
Mark's going to bring stuff. So,
I'm a pack rat, but
yeah. Are you at maximum pack capacity? So like, I'm moving soon, so I need a clean space. So you know, expect a lot of stuff from me. Furniture or hobby related should be a lot. So yeah, swap meets coming up then.
So let's talk about some releases that are coming out soon that people can start looking forward to. Fallout Wasteland Warfare is one that I'm looking at. But the big one is going to be coming out in, end of February, March or so. Y'all's video just cut out there. Up. Is it all right? Did someone start streaming on the store Wi-Fi?
Oh, hey.
Hey, David.
Oh, no, actually, I didn't. I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi right now.
Oh, no? Okay.
Yeah.
I've got my eye on you, though. But Star Wars Legion is coming out end of February, early March, David. Is that right?
Star Wars Legion?
Yes.
I'll be the voice in the dark. End of February is the core box set.
Coming
and
up.
then March, I believe, is the
add-ons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I know we have a bunch of pre-orders. We're still taking it.
Oh no, maybe it's all recent. There should be some stuff leasing together. I don't know. They're so bad at releases.
Yeah. So I mean, Fantasy Flight is definitely a company that keeps you guessing up until the point of it.
Yeah.
Dropping.
But there's a lot of releases. Like next week is Legacies, the new Destiny starts. Next week. We have a gigantic dust thing coming in today at some point.
Yeah.
Flames of War and Team Yankees coming back.
Yeah. So that's actually important. Like, so
I'm a glutton for punishment.
we're trying to build back up Flames of War again. I know David put out a call to arms for someone to help champion this game. We're still looking for someone. I don't think anyone's committed fully.
No one's fully committed, but
yeah,
there's a lot of people showing interest.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the historical game to me. Like, you know.
Yeah. Well, they have a new edition. There's a new edition that's supposed to be a lot easier to get into.
That'll be good.
Team Yankee. There's some crossover between the models now.
Oh, cool.
Between
Good.
Team Yankee and Flames.
Yeah.
But that Dungeon Crawl, that's Gloomhaven comes out on the 19th.
Yeah.
Back in. We're mostly sold out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Same.
that game is selling for $250 online right now. It's a $140 game.
So guys, be mindful. This is going to be the same thing as Dark Souls and Kingdom Death.
Yeah.
They will not be here longer than the day they come in.
Yeah.
So if you want one, please let us know.
And make sure they have to prepay.
Yeah. Like if you don't prepay, it's not reserved. It's just the way it is. But please let us know. It's just we want you to be happy and get the models you want or the games that you want. And this is.
I've been playing Gloomhaven every Friday.
Yeah.
Well, when nobody's sick or snowed in, but the game is amazing. It definitely has a system that just lends itself to just either going through a wonderful, I think, pretty well-driven story. You an adventure book where you're actually going through and flipping cards for various effects or going through random events. But you also have the option of just dungeon crawling.
Yeah,
you can just say like, all right, we got 5 people, we're going to be this level, and this is what we're up against, and you can set up a random dungeon.
Yeah,
very Diablo 2-esque.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like that crossover between role playing and board games. So you get your dungeon crawl, and you get this like story driven and cinematic experience where you play this like character.
Yep.
It's not quite as freeform as a normal tabletop RPG, and it's not quite as board gamey as like your traditional board game. So
it is. Oh, one aspect of it is very nice is that your basically stamina is your hand size.
Yeah.
I play a mage who has the smallest hand size of the group, but I have an ability to recoup all the cards I've lost. But the neat thing is that level up, you have access to more cards. So there might be like a useful card where you can just quickly shoot someone at three hexes away. But as you level up, you're like, all right, what do I lose to change my deck? In the beginning, it's pretty obvious. It's like, I don't use this very much. Put a powerful spell in. But I'm level 8 now, and right now I'm just sitting there going, take away. And it's actually gotten to the point where the last game I played, I had so many cards that if I used them, I would lose them.
Oh, yeah.
That I was like, uh-oh. I made a mistake. And so I actually had to go back to my deck and switch out some cards so that I wouldn't just lost myself before the game even ended.
Yeah. Jeremy's asking about a day when Gloomhaven and whatnot's played in terms of...
It's the same thing. Well, it's the same reason as a lot of things like D&D and all that. Like, it's played a lot here at the store, but usually those groups are set. So like Mark plays with his board, his personal like board gaming group, and like the other people that have Gloomhaven are usually in their own set board games. The fact that we haven't been able to stock it until the 19th leads to that sort of thing as well. We just don't have the inventory for multiple groups to kind of like pop up. And it's not run by Wizards, so they're not like kind of promoting the fact of getting several game masters to run different games for different people that can kind of come and join. So if, Jeremy, you're interested in playing it, pick it up and then advertise that you're looking for a group. You will find one.
Yeah,
people have been wanting to play this. Yeah, so it's definitely, this is going to be one of those games where treat it like a role-playing game. You need a set group to keep with you. So they fill up quick, and people are wanting to play this game. So definitely,
you have to post and let people know you want to play.
Exactly.
Like, we have a lot of games and people looking for games is they want to know when it's happening, but no one wants to step up and be like, "I'd like to play," and publicly say that.
So I remember one of my friends. He posted last week. He was like, "Play War Machine on Thursday. Who's going to be there?"
Yeah.
And he got like 14 responses within a couple of hours, and he was like, "Man, why haven't I done this every week?"
It's so important. Like, it's so important just be outgoing and be like, "Hey, I want to play a game."
Because we have these phenomenal resources for everyone to use. We have Discord, Facebook, all that sort of stuff. We have our webpage where you can advertise saying like, "Hey, I'm going to be up there to play. Who wants to come with and join?" I know it's difficult with. I know sometimes it's difficult, like with social anxiety and all that sort of stuff. You don't want to be the center of attention or whatever, but it is important to take that first step and to build a community to say, "Hey, I will be here." So that shows someone else saying like, "All right, I know there's at least someone to play."
John keeps trying to put me in the screen. Look at this.
Yeah, no, he's trying. He's trying real hard.
I'm trying my hardest.
I feel so left out right now.
Nobody wants to see the pain that is David right now.
We're back on y'all now.
Yeah.
Takes a little.
Stand off.
But
So, yeah,
you're absolutely right, son. Sorry to distract the folks that are watching from my shenanigans going on there. But I mean, the moment you reach out to people, we had someone, I think Ross, like invited someone to Discord and they joined within a couple of minutes. That's just how you ask for something and people are like, oh, because it's weird. Like our reach for our social media isn't that much organically. Like if we post something, it reaches 500 people. We have 7,000 likes on the page, but it reaches like 500. The moment someone shares, it goes up to about 1,000, 1,500. Just one share gets to about 1,000. So 2 shares, 3 shares, more. Your video, John, that you did yesterday of painting has over 22,000 reach.
Well, I'd like to thank Spiky Bits and other folks for sharing it.
I saw Spiky Bits shared that.
Yeah,
cool.
so
that is huge, but it is also the individual people because the way that the algorithm it just means that when someone with like maybe 500 friends shares something, that reaches, it just explodes. It's great.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank Bobby for giving me 5 nights to work on because that apparently is really appealing for people to watch. Someone killed me.
I figured it was my nice microwave that I was talking about.
No, so yeah, it's really important for everyone to be in the community, to be the community that they are, and show it off. Like, you know, let people know what you're interested in. Let people know like what you find cool and interesting. It's a great way to pull in friends. I have a lot of people, like me and Mark see it on a weekly basis where we have friends bringing their coworkers in and be like, oh, like you've never tried Warhammer? Like let's just give it a go. And, you know, they never even thought about Warhammer as a potential game to play, or even that you could play miniature games, and they give it a shot and it grows. But it takes a little bit of confidence. I would say confidence in yourself to recommend something to a muggle, more or less. I don't know a better way of describing it, but
You like doing something, there's nothing wrong with sharing it, right?
yeah, exactly. So definitely make that happen. Bring in people, let people know that this is something that you enjoy and like. I know for a fact that, I mean, obviously I work here, but I've had a lot of friends outside of the tabletop thing, and I bring them in because I'm really excited about it. And I'm like, hey, you're going to have to bear with me for a couple minutes because I want to talk to you about all this new Gator stuff.
So bring the hooch holler?
Yeah. No, so it's really important just to like get people excited about the stuff you're interested in. But yeah, so share stuff that you like, bring people in, recommend them to us. It gets us to grow, and it gets us better and better stuff. So
yeah, so Jeremy says Brother Steve videos get shared around. That's right. I mean, that's technically the kind of content that's like the most shareable. But even the content like this, where we're just having conversations, you know, the more people see it, the more they see, hell, whoa, Giga-Bites Cafe. They talk a lot about different stuff. They're on live streams. They're very busy all the time.
Yeah, that's our tagline. They talk a lot. They sure do talk a lot.
They sure do talk a lot.
So yeah, I kind of want to segue into a different discussion, kind of industry scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
Can we get like a little like banner for that at some point? But anyways, so recent controversy with Privateer Press this week, and it's not even really controversy. It's people overreacting, but. It's their Bahi system, the Black Anchor Heavy Industries. They just put up for pre-order the Hooch Hauler, which is their new battle engine, and people are not liking the price for it. And it's $165 US.
Yep. So if you want a $120 option, here's the one I've made. It's got a little guy drinking on top that John drew.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk realistically about in what people find price points appealing and all that. Like, it's really easy to see a price tag of 165 and be like, that's outrageous, and flip your table. But when you think about it, like with the Black Anchor Heavy Industries, they are full resin pieces that are done in limited quantities. So very close to Forge World price for the amount of resin and like the time sculpted and all that. But the internet has definitely made an outcry about it. It's not even it ties their other second most expensive piece in the line, which is 165. The Dwarven Colossal.
Really?
Yeah. The Earthbreaker is 165. So I think it was a little bit of sticker shock, but it's led to an outcry.
Big if you can win a Revenant Titan.
We can run a Revenant Titan.
Well, yeah, I already placed an order.
Okay, good. It's but yeah, so like because we get similar reactions with Forge World or even Warhammer 40K models, where if someone like looks at being 100 and what Mortarian's
140.
Yeah, they'll get kind of. The thing I always like to remind people is there are artists and developers and people working at the company all behind this. Like, you are hobby, right?
Hobby.
Yeah, a luxury hobby. So when something comes out with a large price point and you don't necessarily want to pay that much for it, nobody's forcing you to. So it's to me, it's the thing that blows me away. I personally like every once in a while Privateer Press coming out or Warhammer or any of these companies coming out with a large centerpiece model to kind of build your force around. The Hooch Hauler in particular is everything that the Northkin are about.
Yeah.
It is a giant cask of beer being pulled by polar bears, covered in trolls breathing fire. Like, it is everything Northkin. It's covered with Viking shields as well.
And anything around it gets drunk.
Yeah. So it's
What?
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where when you see a model and all that sort of stuff, like me as an artist personally, like I know how much time and effort goes into something, and you got to realize that when you're buying a model, think about everything that goes into it. So the artists, the designers, the game designers, the people that produce it, the shippers, like all that sort of stuff goes into the cost of this model. And so, yeah, it could be a little bit of a shock, but usually if it's a centerpiece model, like
you're not going to buy 2 Hooch Haulers.
Yeah. Now, granted, some people might try to.
And that's where I come in with my...
No, and it's also like one of those things where these companies, both Privateer Press, Warhammer, and a lot of these big miniature companies, we're just talking about in Dust. You can convert and make your own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to make something as amazing as Mark's Styrofoam Cup Hooch Hauler. But you definitely can buy, like, spare bits and things like that and make your own Hooch Hauler at home if you don't want to pay for it. It's pretty easy to find a plastic cask and just strap some wheels to it, order some Trollkin from privateerpress.com, and then kind of make your own. You can do it. Same with Mortarion. Like, I know people have been modding and making their own Mortarion for years, even before the model came out.
You glue 5 Nurgle Demon Princes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, damn, done.
Voltron.
But yeah, like to me, it was one of those things where there's controversy. People started saying, "Oh, it's pay to win," all that sort of stuff, and it's just like, I roll my eyes at it, and I might be a little bit jaded because I'm in the industry. I'm at my store all the time. I see these games played, and especially in a miniatures game, I can never really say that it's pay to win because there's usually ways around either playing that list in particular or buying that model, as in making your own or doing your own thing.
Yeah, like Northkin, aren't the be all end all troll lists.
Yeah. Thomas makes a good point that I see a lot, where someone's like, "Oh, I see a Reaper model for $4 to $10, and then a Privateer Press model for $30."
Yeah.
And once again, think about, but rules development does have a cost. And also, I will say, a $4 Reaper model, the quality is not usually the same as a $30 model.
Yep.
And I can I could go into specifics all day, but usually you'll look at the softness of the sculpt, the materials it was used to be printed with, and design of the sculpt itself. Usually for a $30 model by Games Workshop, it has much more dynamism, hard plastic to get that crisp detail.
I had a commission recently where it's like, "Oh, it's a Reaper model." It's like, "All right." It's like, "What about the face?" It's like, "You're not going to get a lot out of the face."
Yeah, it takes an extremely exceptional painter to basically sand down the face and paint a 3D one on it for you for some of those models. Expect the average person to know too much about the difference in sculpting and all that sort of stuff. They can just pick up a Reaper model and say, "Hey, I like this model. Why is this model so much cheaper than this one that I don't like as much?" And it's normally an aesthetics thing. Like, if someone shows me a $4 Lizard Man or a $30 Gorilla, I want to go for the Lizard Man every time, regardless of the quality of the sculpt. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. And I would love to. Like, I could probably spend the rest of my life doing studies and things like that about people's perception and desire on miniature games. So
it's true. I mean, for one thing, like when I looked at Dust, my first impression was, well, I looked at a lot of the infantry. I tend to look at infantry when I look at a game system. I said, I mean, they're not great, but I can paint them how I want. So I'm painting my SSU guys like this cool gray red. And like even the walker, at first I wasn't really impressed with the way it looked. But then once I got it painted in battle damage, I think it looks really, really cool. I can't wait to start on the Luftwaffe Ludwig, which basically has 2 massive tank cannons on the side. It's going to look amazing. But when you first look at it, and you open up the box, and you're like, oh, God, what did I do? What did I get? A lot of it ends up being what you can kind of create through your painting, your hobby.
Yeah. And So yeah, Jeremy says that sometimes people pay to win with Forge World. David is here with a quick reality check. David, how much Forge World did you bring on Sunday?
They got tabled.
Yeah.
But the winner of the tournament was Tyranids with no Forge World.
Yeah.
And that was Art Boys.
People bringing the strongest list possible did not use a lot of Forge World.
Most of the multiple Forge World stuff didn't do well. It was first place was Tyranids, second place. What was second place?
Was it AdMech or was it?
Third place was AdMech.
Okay.
And there was no Forge World in the AdMech.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second place was, what was it? Wasn't it Daniel Hester's?
Yeah, I think so.
So he had a knight, but he didn't have a Forge World knight. He had a regular knight.
Yeah. No Forge World in the top three
in an Art Boys hardcore event.
Yeah, and that was something that they did specifically with the last chapter approved, Jeremy, was to make sure that Forge World can't even be perceived that way.
No, I like the thing where people say, Forge World is so hard, but it's like you shove 50 orcs at anything that's dead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's to me, there's a way to build a list where you don't have to use these expensive models. Like, and also, like, for going back to Private Press, the Hooch Hauler, Trollkin have been playing very strong lists without it for the last, 3 months since the Northkin CID released. Like, it hasn't been a necessary model at all. Yeah, it's cool, and it can help out your list in certain aspects, but it's far from necessary. So, yeah.
I don't think there's any top tier Forge World stuff at that tournament, actually.
Yeah, I think Jeremy's talking about the Soul Burners on the Decimate, not the Leviathan Dreadmots, the ones that you did for Steven.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, the things that do D6 wounds, D6
mortal
whatever.
Wounds.
Yeah.
I faced one of those in my first game, just mortal wounds.
Yeah, it's it
gets one shot and it dies.
Yeah,
it's still a Dreadnought. Only has the Leviathan has 14 wounds, maybe 13 wounds.
Yeah.
50 orcs, don't care.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Massive shots. I took down. I put 22 wounds on a knight for last gun shots in the first turn. So,
yeah. And so we are going to be signing off soon because we got a lot of work up. You guys destroyed our stock after Christmas of Games Workshop, so we're getting a restock right now, and Lord help us.
Oh God! Oh my
God.
So. Okay, I'll take it over from here, y'all. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. I'll take over the stream for a couple more minutes at the end here.
Goodbye, guys.
Wrap
Thanks for
it up.
joining the stream.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Let me pull it over to me. Nope, that's the wrong one. No, that's the right one. Why is it showing them? Huh. Okay. Let me see if I can.
Boy, oh, this.
Have a great weekend.
That's interesting. It shouldn't be displaying it at all.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. There we go. And now it's back on me. Cool. Okay. Thanks for watching, y'all. Join our Discord channel. I'll put a link into it in just a second. If you can, invite your friends to the Discord. We have 70 people on here now, but we want to have even more. So make sure you come onto that. And speaking of building your list, I'm doing my Desert Chaos. This dude has an orange tip on his gun because someone suggested, whoa, I can just imagine. Oh, it was Michael. Michael, you suggested, I can imagine just doing an entire army with orange-tipped weapons. So nerf cultists for the win. Totally for the win. But I'm going to do a whole army of cultists, chosen, and hellbrutes because it's 3 Dark Vengeance starters. It's what I got. I might add a couple of things to it, but I got 2 Exalted Champions and a Chaos Lord, so that's enough for me to full. I think almost a 2,000 point list. It's a crap ton of cultists, but the Hellbrutes alone are worth, I think, 700 points or so, 700-800 points. So yeah, I'm gonna feel that and play and have a good time. It might not be ultra competitive in the grand scheme of things, but I'm still gonna play tournaments with it because I love cultists and I love the chosen models, super good. But yeah, do I drill your barrels yet, Thomas? No, they're Nerf guns. They will not be drilled. Nope, not gonna do it. Jeremy, you can, if I come down and see you, you can drill all 65 of my cultists barrels if you want to. Otherwise, no. Yeah. But yeah, join us on our Discord channel. Check out the new ordering page. It's gigabytes-cafe.com/order. And then you can fill out the form and then email it to us, and that way we'll have a record of you contacting us. Sometimes things get lost on Facebook, or if you call us, every once in a while things get lost up in the mix because there's 4 or 5 of us that have access to Giga-Bites page. When one person reads a message, then it gets marked as read for everybody, which means if someone's messaging about an order, I might read it, and I have nothing to do with orders, which is not ideal, but that's kind of how Facebook works, unfortunately. So if you go to gigabytescafe.com/order, then you can fill out the form, and then we'll contact you back, either phone or email, and then you will get your order sorted out, which is really cool. It's very fun. And other than that, play at giga.com for events. I'm continually filling in more events that we have that you can sign up for. Every time we announce one, I'll be filling out an event for that, and you simply create an account, and you can always quickly press pay now and sign up for the event. And it gives you a reminder on your calendar and emails reminders as well. It's so cool. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks, y'all, for joining us for our Giga Rambles, and we will see y'all throughout the weekend and into next week. Happy New Year to everybody who we haven't seen in the last couple of days, and bye-bye.